My name is Evan Centopani. I'm a professional bodybuilder. That means I eat a lot. Luckily, I love to cook as much as I love to eat. For me, it's essential to not only eat in a way that supports my goals, but is as enjoyable and as healthy as possible. Follow along. We'll cook, we'll eat, and who knows what else. This is Evan's World. Done. In the off season, you know, when the diet's a little bit more loose and we're not held to the same standard as we are when we're getting ready for a contest, sometimes it's a nice opportunity to eat foods that we wouldn't always eat pre-contest. I find this to be the case mostly with carbohydrates. Because when it comes to proteins, whether we're pre-contest or off season, we're gonna eat chicken, steak, fish. It's not like we're gonna eat those things pre-contest and then in the off season eat lunch meat and canned ham. So well, who does eat canned ham? The same thing with fats. You know, it's not like we're gonna go from eating olive oil and nuts and avocados and peanut butter to having you know, margarine and trans fats and cheese in the off season. But where I do find leeway is with carbohydrates. Whereas pre-contest and even in the off season, I'm sticking predominantly to the traditional carb sources in oats and potatoes and rice. But there are other carbs that, you know, they may consist of those things I just mentioned, but you know, they might be in a little bit of a spruced up form, such as waffles, French fries, and I bet you didn't expect this, pierogies. But what I find with these things, and these specific ones, which I'm gonna go over, is that they're not really so bad. Meaning you'll get your carbs and not a whole lot of other crap. Starting with the waffles, it's not uncommon in an off season for me to grab a box of these and eat the whole thing along with my breakfast. You know, if I'm having eggs, or even if I decide to have chicken for breakfast, I might make myself a plate of waffles to go along with it. Now, if I eat a box of them, that gives me almost exactly 100 grams of carbs. It gives you an extra 15 grams of fat, and on the protein, well, an extra 12 grams, which we're not even really gonna count. But I mean, this is an extra 100 grams that's very easy to put down, and it tastes good, and it digests well. These particular waffles happen to be gluten-free, which if you guys follow my stuff, you may have realized by now that I do tend to lean towards gluten-free carbohydrate sources. Not all the time, but you know, when you're eating mass amounts of them, carbohydrates, that is, you want to make sure that the digestibility is high so you don't go upsetting your stomach, etc., etc. And I find gluten-free stuff to be just that, much easier to digest. So, highly recommended. Next, these are particularly awesome. I get these at Whole Foods. They're their steak cut fries. Now, I can eat a whole bag of these real easy. You know, I might throw them in alongside of some chicken or steak or something like that. A whole bag of these, again, gives you about 100 grams of carbohydrates, only about 10 grams of fat. I mean, there's really not much in these. You've got potatoes, a little bit of canola oil, citric acid. There's like 3 ingredients. That's it. No, you know, and they don't even add any salt, which is nice because I can control that. If I want to, you know, dip them in endless amounts of ketchup, then I can do that. But these I find to be really, really good. And of course, you know, potatoes, great source of not only starch, but also potassium. Highly, highly recommended. Pierogies. Who the hell eats pierogies? They always have these in the frozen case at the butcher that I go to. And one day I was kind of looking at them and I'm like, you know, potatoes the first ingredient. And then the rest of it is just really pasta, enriched wheat flour, you know, and it lists the B vitamins that it contains. And there's some black pepper and water, that's it. So I said, geez, this, I could have these. I'm in off season, these are cool. And I started eating them, love them, they're delicious, they taste great. And you know, sometimes it's nice to not just have to eat a baked potato with your meal. It's not like I eat these with every meal, it's a treat. You know, maybe a couple times a week I throw them in. They're very easy to put down. You know, if I eat half the package, it gives me about 75 grams of carbs. Some extra protein, not much fat, and it's a nice, clean, simple product. So my point to you is to give you guys a couple ideas of some things that you may be able to include in your off season to make it a little bit more enjoyable, because sometimes in an off season, the main challenge becomes how can I consume enough food? And when your food sources are primarily very clean and kind of plain, like a baked potato or a side of rice, that becomes kind of challenging. So to have things that, say, geez, well, fucking, I love waffles. I can put down 100 grams worth of carbs from waffles, no problem. So, you know, have some here and there. Who doesn't like French fries? Pierogies. Maybe you never even had them, but you probably like them. There's nothing not to like. It's potato and pasta. And I don't fry them or anything. I just take them as is and put them in a pot of boiling water and just boil them. Really, really good. Alongside a steak with some vegetables. Not bad. So that's it for this episode. Hopefully you found some of this useful. Don't judge me because I don't just stick to, you know, rice and potato. And subscribe to my YouTube channel and check me out at centipani.com. See you guys again soon. Take it easy.